Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as LiquidDude11, and in today's video, this is the Doctor Who 60th Anniversary Specials spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Alright, kicking things off. As I did say, this is a spoiler review, so get out now while you're at it if you have not seen these reviews, or if you not have seen these specials. But if you want to stick around for listening to one of my favorite shows ever, one of my favorite shows of all time, be sure to stick around and watch this video. I'm just trying to clean off my computer mouse pad, but anyway. I digress. Let's get to the review itself. So, yes, Doctor Who is one of my favorite shows. I have to preface this review by saying this. I love like the entirety of modern Who, and I have not seen any of classic Who. I've seen clips on YouTube like of the regenerations and stuff. It looks fun enough, or I say fun enough. People don't generally like it. There's some fun to be had. I've never checked it out, mainly because I'm not a I'm more of a reliant person. Like, okay, that was fine. Like, I just don't know. I like older content. It's just that if I go back and watch it, where should I start? And because I know Tom Baker's a great doctor, but should I start with Tom Baker? Should I start, if I'm just going to watch, I would just watch all the way through, but I don't want to be bored out of my mind. Anyway, I do digress that I love most of modern Who. I made a video, I may or may not have talked about Doctor Who in the past, but I have some posters of it. I have Lego, I made custom figures of them. I love the 50th anniversary special. I made reviews of the woman doctor, Jodie Whittaker's, I think it was 2 seasons of her, not the first season that she did, which that season wasn't beloved, but I grew on her. I love all of modern Who. I think the ones with Murray Gold stand out because he's great, he's back returning for this, but we get Russell T Davies first with Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant, then we have then we have Moffat, Stephen Moffat with Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, then we have Chibnall, which is the worst era, but I liked it towards the end because we had some returning villains, returning themes. There was an absolute trash doctor who was this woman who was with the African American woman with Jodie Whittaker, which I did not completely understand. But however, we're now in the 60th anniversary specials, bringing back David Tennant, bringing back Murray Gold, and I'm going to segue. I'm going to talk about the music right now. The music is amazing. And I want to focus heavily on, I should say heavily, I want to mention something specific about the music. There are different motifs in these specials itself that reminisce, that come back from the David Tennant era. I don't specifically know, I can't, just motifs like, oh, I kind of remember that, oh, this sounds like Murray Gold. Nothing specific that I can name off the bat, but it sounds like Murray Gold. And I think that's one thing that Doctor Who lost in the Chibnall-Whittaker era, is the Murray Gold sounds. We know we had the ooh, but we didn't have that Murray Gold grasp in our... We didn't have that Murray Gold touch in our grasp. So, it's something to think about, but I love him being back. It just brings back so much nostalgia, so much love for this era of Doctor Who. And Russell T. Russell T. Davies is returning in this. Not in here. He's writing. He actually wrote, I believe it was, he had some other writers on the first episode, The Star Beast, and then he fully wrote the last one, The Giggle, and I believe my dad said he did the second one all on his own, but I have to check that out after this review. But I'm glad he's back. People are hating on this series, and I'm going to talk about that, how were the specials themselves in a minute later in this review, but I loved him coming back. It felt like a return to form with Doctor Who, and that's what I love, because something about all the 3 specials really felt like, okay, they're taking this seriously, they're not repeating what they did with the Chibnall era with Whittaker. It feels like return to form. It feels like David Tennant's era, but brought into a new era. And I'm super happy for what happened. I'm excited to see what's going on in the future. Now, I know there's some people that didn't like this, but I have to continue my thoughts later on this review. David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and Neil Patrick Harris. Now, Neil Patrick Harris actually doesn't get into the 3rd special. But before I talk about him, David Tennant and Catherine Tate in this are great. The first episode, again, like I said, people have issues with this, but I adore when Doctor Who takes itself seriously. Like, when the Chibnall Whittaker era, they brought back the Master, they have the Daleks, they brought back some companions. They brought back UNIT, and then they brought back some companions in that Sanitariat special. I don't know the word these days. But they brought back in the the Power of the Doctor episode, when she regenerates back into David Tennant, they brought back a couple companions, Ace and another one, back from the classic Who, which I thought was really cool. And they did that here in the Giggle they brought back a Maggie, I think is her name, or Madeline, no, not Madeline, it was like Maggie, I can't remember all of a sudden, but then it was, she was working in the companion in the Giggle was from the Sixth Doctor, so I was like, oh, that's really cool. I love when Doctor Who does that. They brought back Donna Noble's mom, Donna Noble's husband who was in the other one, and they had this character Rose, who was Donna Noble's daughter, which is what people were complaining about, and they do this non-binary thing where Donna can remember everything without dying, and people are so mad about that, like, oh, this is ruining Doctor Who. But I feel like after we just had this era of the Doctor being female, and they're trying to be inclusive, it really doesn't bother me. And the other thing is, but before I get into the regeneration thing at the end here, I really have no problem that they're doing this, because I feel like they're, like I just said, trying to be inclusive. And I'm not pushing myself to have an agenda, but I'm pushing myself to, I think they're doing this better than other properties have in the past. I don't know, that's just me. But I felt like they did it the best way that they could without, I don't know, I mean, it was kind of forced, but at the same time, it just kind of worked for me. Because it was the best way they did it with Donna. If it was just there, like if Donna was out of the picture and they just said, hey, let's have the Doctor be binary, which they actually kind of did. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. But I felt like it worked in its own way. Okay? Okay. So, moving along, but yes, Donna can now remember without dying. For me, it wasn't cringe. It was cringe for my friend that watched it along with me. But I didn't mind. So yeah, we have Rose in here, which is Donna Noble's daughter. We have at the end of the second episode, by the way, I have to mention, the first episode was fine. I didn't mind that. The Meep was a total ripoff from Phineas and Ferb. That I saw that going in, and I was like, oh, there's a Meep character. Wait a minute, isn't that from Phineas and Ferb? And then my friend was watching with me, and he was like, they ripped off Phineas and Ferb. I'm like, yes, they did. In the second episode, it was very creepy. These like knot things like that can duplicate you, like doppelgangers. Very creepy. I love the second episode. Like elevated the first special, but yeah, it was like creepy as heck, man. Going around and like my arms are too long. That was freaky as heck. And at the end of the second episode, I got teary-eyed when Wilf came back. Ooh, man, I got teary-eyed. It was the most I've cried at Doctor Who in a while. I don't think I ever cried in the Whittaker era, but it was like the most shocking thing I've seen since David Tennant was regenerated. From when Whittaker regenerated into David Tennant, because I was like, isn't he dead? And he died before, or he died after they shot that. Like, just in 2022. Bernard Cribbins died after they shot that. David Tennant's wheeling him around on set, and then shortly after that, he passed. They filmed that before he died. Man, it was so sad. But I love that. The effects in this series are great. Or in all these specials, I shouldn't say series. In this are great. I'm not a stickler for effects. The only effects I will say, the She-Hulk ones were kind of iffy. There were Secret Invasion ones that were don't even get me started on Secret Invasion. But Doctor Who, and even in the Chibnall era, I was a stickler, or not a stickler, I should say. I adored the effects in the Chibnall Whittaker era. They were fine. They were fun to look at. Like I just go back and watch that era for the effects themselves. The story's okay, but I had fun with it. But the effects and the costumes and everything, that's what I love about Doctor Who. The way they can make it look unique and different and fresh and new with the creatures and designs. That's what I love about this. In live action, it's like, well, take this what you will. It's like seeing an alien in Rick and Morty cartoon in live-action Doctor Who form. That's my analogy. I know it might not make sense to certain people, but I almost thought my cup was going to fall for a second. But that's my analogy. Like seeing an alien cartoon brought into live-action form in Doctor Who makes you go, whoa, that's really cool looking. I want to meet that guy, meet that character. Maybe not if it's a villain, but anyway, speaking of villains, let's go right into that. So we have the Meep in the first episode. Very terrifying. My friend was actually like, I think this cute creature the Meep is going to be a villain. I'm like, I doubt it. I don't know. You could be right. And then my friend was right. There's a big twist. I was like, the hell with this, Exhibit C. And then the Meep is like evil. I'm like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. But then we get the Not Things in episode 2. I love that episode. It felt very reminiscent. I shouldn't say exactly reminiscent, but people were comparing it to the episode called Midnight in Series 4 with Donna Noble, where Donna Noble wasn't really in the episode, but it was like this thing where Doctor's on a ship with passengers, and this, like, not mechanism, but this, like, mysterious soul comes into your body, and then it made you mimic the Doctor and other people, and it was very creepy. This episode kind of felt reminiscent to that, like very creepy, but with these not things, like duplicate versions of you. Very creepy episode. And then we have The Giggle, which was the finale out of the 3. I actually felt like they got better as they went along. Not that they were bad. Like, I felt like, not that I disliked any of them, but people are just complaining. I haven't seen the reviews about the newest one because I'm recording this the day of the third one. So I haven't seen any reviews, anything about it, about the regeneration. But the finale, I didn't have any issue with it. I actually loved it. Like, I loved it more than the second one. And I really liked the second one. Like, I feel like all 3 of these work together in a really, 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 really clever way. And the finale, the way that they did this was something I wasn't expecting at all. But I was like, huh. And I actually quite liked that. For some different reasons. And you don't know what I'm talking about because I'm sounding pretty vague. But what they did, okay, so let me go back because I detoured here. So the villains, we have Neil Patrick Harris as the Giggle, as the toy maker, and he has this toy called Sticky Bill, I think is his name, and he's this puppet where these people from the year 1925 take it and use it for their first movie or for the first television event. And then the doll catches on fire, and then we go in the intro. By the way, the intro theme is dope as well. I almost forgot to mention that. The new intro's dope. I love it a lot. I hope they use it for the new Doctor, the new episodes. But, going forward, the toy maker, Neil Patrick Harris, is perfect casting. Now, I have not watched the older version with the old toy maker, but this casting with Neil Patrick Harris is the bomb. They got the perfect actor. I don't know anybody else who could play this part, but this part is perfect. So anyway, he's here, and he's creepy. He basically, I guess, still has to deal with the Doctor to finish their game, finish their match. And he's in the episode. One of my favorite parts of the episode, probably the entire thing. Nah, I should say that. Not the entire thing. One of my favorite parts about this episode was when the toy maker's like, going through the timeline since David Tennant regenerated. He's like, you had a bow tie. Or when the Doctor mentions all the eras, and then he goes, you were with Amy Pond. You were with Clara. You were with Bill Potts that became a Cyberman, and how all of them were killed. That Amy Pond died by a weeping angel. Clara died by a bird. Bill Potts died by the Cyberman. It was like, that was hilarious. And then he's like, and then the Flux came in, which was from the Whittaker era. Oh, it was so good. And then he challenges him to a card game, and all these things go awry. All these like doors and the whole thing. The toy box, I'm flailing my arms around like you guys know what's going on. The toy shop just collapses in itself, and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm loving this. And then the toy maker takes over a giant laser at Unit and shoots the Doctor, and that's where he regenerates. But it's different this time. Both Donna and the other companion, Maggie, let's go with Maggie, I forget the name. Forget all of a sudden. And I watched it today. Pull on the Doctor, and he becomes Nakuti Iwuji. No, I think that's actually I think that's the other guy. Let's see how it's pronounced, actually. New Doctor name. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Gatwa. I think Ncuti Gatwa. So anyway, that's who's playing the Doctor, and there's 2 Doctors now, and the David Tennant's Doctor, the 14th one, goes to live with Donna at her home. Well, basically, then they defeat the Toy Maker by playing a game of ball, and if the ball falls, they lose, and the Toy Maker loses, and then the Doctor, the 14th Doctor, David Tennant, goes to live off with Donna and her family. I love that she got a happy ending now, and so all 3 David Tennant Doctors companions got a happy ending. Rose got a happy ending, Martha got a happy ending, and Donna got a happy ending. And now, they actually mentioned Sarah Jane, that she's gone, that she's dead. It's kind of sad, but makes sense why. And then this Doctor, they both get a TARDIS, so they have 2 TARDISes now. And Ncuti Gatwa, however you pronounce the name, excuse it, goes off in the TARDIS, and he's off on an adventure, and it says, Christmas Invasion? Not the Christmas Invasion, that was an episode. Destination Christmas. So I'm super excited for the Church on Abbey Road, which is the Christmas special episode coming on Christmas Day this year. So this is my review for all 3 special David Tennant specials, and I'm super excited to see where this Doctor heads us. This guy is from Sex Education, and he was also in Barbie. I love him as the Doctor, his little flair he has. I like it a lot, and I love this. I'm excited to see him, actually. So I'm quite excited, but I know some people are going to be mad about the whole binary. By the way, the Doctor's now like, I'm binary, Doctor. I'm like, it didn't bother me. I know some people are going to be mad, but I'm like, this is a cool concept. I like where they're going with this. So I'm excited to see the new Doctor, the 15th Doctor, on his adventures, find his new companion. I think it's Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday, that's a restaurant. Ruby Sunday. And so I'm excited. I believe that's the companion, right? Because the name of the companion, companion, Ruby Sunday is her name. So I'm excited to see her. I'm excited to see them pair up in the next episode on the Christmas special. So I'll be making a video of that. Depending if I want to do a vlog, like a sit-down video discussing Diary of a Wimpy Kid thing, the Santa Clauses, and then that special, I might do like a combination review. Debating on whether I want to do that, how I want to do that or not. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. By the way, I will give my rating on this. The future, I'm excited to see the future of it. I love Doctor Who, so I didn't think this was bad. I thought this was better than the Chibnall era because of Russell T Davies returning. And I actually have to say that I'm going to give this a generous 7 out of 10. Because that's how I felt about Indiana Jones. Actually, I think this was better than the Indiana Jones A Dial of Destiny movie. But some people are still mad about it. I'm leaning with the 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is the critic review, or critic percentage. I'm not with the 42, 45 or so % on the audience side. So if that's just how, that just gives you guys a little bit of perspective and lets you guys know how I feel about Doctor Who as a whole. And yeah, I loved it. I'm excited to see the future. So that's my review. That's my rating of it. I don't think it was terrible. Because, I'm not pushing the agenda. I just don't have an issue with it. So, anyway, that's my opinion. It's all subjective. Let me know if you watched it, because I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Be sure to let me know what you thought on the Doctor Who 60th anniversary specials. Be sure to stay tuned for when I make a video coming out about the Christmas episode on the 25th of Christmas. Well, I guess the video won't be uploaded then, but about the Christmas special coming out then. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me at Boba Fidget Master, links down below. Don't forget to keep calm, play Lego, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone. Bye.